Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our latest edition of our Bayut webinar, The State of Real Estate. This is our 12th episode of the series, and this would be the final one for the year. I'm very excited about the upcoming holidays, and I'm sure you all are. In line with that, we've decided to cover something which is very interesting and has evolved as a very popular way of doing real estate in the UAE market over the last couple of years. What we're going to cover today is how the industry of holiday homes and short-term rentals has evolved in the UAE market, and what different elements and aspects go into making it one of the most thriving aspects of real estate. I have two very talented panelists here who specialize in conducting and managing a holiday home company under big brands. I have Khadija here, who runs Driven Holiday Homes.
Hello.
Welcome, Khadija.
Thank you.
And we have Shams, who's joined us today from Fam Living. Shams is part of the Fam Properties brand, and he manages the holiday home division. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us today and taking the time out to come to our lovely studio. I'm very excited to cover different elements and aspects of this type of real estate that's done here, because we've spoken about all the other elements, which is off-plan, leasing, big companies, and I think this is something which is very interesting. I personally have a lot of questions, like I was chatting with you guys earlier. So let's start with what made you guys choose to run a holiday home company instead of doing the hardcore sale and selling that $1 million property at the Baum. Ladies first.
It started from a personal experience. I was moving from the address, and after living in 2 years in the address in Marina, I was like tired of the interior. I wanted something more personal, more homey. And I was looking through the portals at the time, and I could not find something with a nice furniture. And it's not a new business, it's a very old business. So I was like, I'm sure I can do it better, but I still don't do it like, when you start something, you always think you're gonna do it way better than the other, but we're doing our best. So this is out of a personal experience. I was looking for myself.
Okay, lovely. What about you, Shams? How did you decide to?
My previous jobs involved too much traveling, so I used to spend half of the month outside Dubai. So it started again from personal experience, but on a different scope. So when I was away, I was letting my house on a short let, right? So that's how I explored this segment. And at some point I thought, why don't I just commercialize it in a more upscaled way? And it was a lot of eye-opener to me. And this is when we shifted to complete full-fledged holiday homes division.
Okay, brilliant. So, interestingly, you were in retail and luxury retail before picking hospitality holiday home concept. How was that transition? Just purely from traveling, and then you're like, I need a change in the career or a shift? Or?
Well, it was multiple reasons, to be honest. One of them was that I can see the market is changing towards e-commerce. So I wanted to be part of that journey. And two, the experience that I had personally on the short let, I thought I can capitalize on this. And three, I had an extensive long years with brand management, which I knew that this could be utilized in different aspects. Regardless of the industry, I can make a use of it differently. And then all kind of was a vision to me to emerge into this entrepreneurial journey, I would say.
Good.
Because holiday homes, as you know, it was a complete new industry.
Absolutely. I remember it all picked up in 2016.
Yeah.
It all picked up in 2016.
We started in 2014.
2014.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
interesting.
like some big company at the time, and we were like really thinking it's gonna be difficult to put to grow our name, but actually we did our best, and today I think we won along Fam Living, like one of the leaders in the market.
Yeah, I remember getting a call from Abdullah back in the day saying, okay, I have a very interesting division of driven properties, and I'd like to come and have you chat with Khadija. I remember coming to your office.
Yes, I remember too.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was the journey? What made you, go under the banner of Driven? How did you meet Abdullah?
So I had one of my friends which used to be a director for him in the office in Arenco. I don't know if you remember.
Of course I do.
The office in Arenco. And she told me, oh, you should meet my boss because he's very inspiring. And she told me a lot of nice things about him. So I really went out of courtesy in the beginning, and I really we have actually a nice story because we decided after 15 minutes we will become partners.
Okay.
So it was like the fastest deal ever. So and now it's been more than 6 years. So
more than 6 years.
And it's like everything is smooth and we're growing together in the environment of the company. It's been absolutely amazing, and I wish every entrepreneur to live the same the same type of exciting beginning. So because we were a very small office, I was alone with a desk. He gave me internet and a desk in his office, and now we have like a 3,000 square feet office. We have our team, we grow, we learn, we did a lot of mistakes. But it was amazing.
A beautifully decorated office.
Yes.
I love the black chandelier.
Thank you. So yeah, and since then we keep growing. We have a lot of projects. A lot of things are. We're preparing a lot of things for the future, and we hope it will keep, because honestly, after this pandemic, it was really difficult to project ourselves, and we didn't know how we will be impacted. When we had to do the announcement to the team, we're gonna be on confinement. The team had a lot of questions that I could not on the time answer, because it was unreal. But we made it, so I believe the company who made it after this difficult time are the strongest and let's say the most energetic in the market at the moment.
Brilliant. Shams, tell us, how did you end up working with Baum and Firas under their banner?
Long story actually. I knew Firas since early days in Dubai, even before starting FAMS. And we've been friends since. So I was shadowing the brand going from strength to strength, and I realized from far that they have no limit, and I was a big fan of Firas' energy and vision. So at some point that the Holiday Homes idea came to the table, I thought, why don't we just join forces and take this to the next level? And he said, yeah, let's do it. It was a half an hour meeting, and I said, let's do it. And then the next day we just hit the ground running.
Good. That's pretty inspiring for all those out there who are looking to find somebody to invest in the business. Big Holiday Homes. That's the way to move forward. Tell me, I really want to understand, how does being under a big brokerage brand name help you as a holiday home?
Well, it's a huge help actually. First of all, it's the main benefit is you have a lot of broker working. So my main source of getting new landlord and homeowner, it's through brokers. So more this company is gonna be selling, and more their broker, more their contact, and they can offer the service of holiday home. So now, since 2014, it become an automatism in our company. An agent sell a property, then the question is what you will be doing with this property. The question is before, what is the purpose of your investment in Dubai? Is it for holiday home and short-term rental? If it's for holiday home, you will pick prime location. Mainly, there is other emerging now. We saw after this pandemic, there is a new area who are on demand for short-term rental, which wasn't before. So it's we almost running a small manufacturer. So the agents are selling the property, they're offering holiday home or long-term rental, and then they go to our interior design team. So everything is at the millimeter. It's like a musical, orchestra. Everything is perfectly managed, every single step. So holiday home is nowadays, especially in Dubai, become a very critical component of a real estate company.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shams, tell me, how is the life of a person who's in a holiday home business different from that of a contemporary or a conventional broker? How
As a
is
sales
it?
agent, you mean?
Yes, as a sales agent, leasing agent.
Well, for one, as mentioned earlier, we operate as a hotel.
Okay.
Our back end basically operates as a complete hotel hospitality background. So we make sure all our frontliners as well as the back are from hotel experience. What the difference would be, one is it's a different customer experience
Mm-hmm.
we have, because eventually when you're in a hotel business, you're more customer centric. Customer satisfaction and high expectation for a client basically are your top priority. This is one. Two, as a holiday homes sales agent, they have more integrity on the table because basically they are the brand ambassadors. So the way they treat the way they carry themselves basically is always with, well, that's how we do things in FAM anyway. Integrity governs all our acts from A to Z. So being the holiday homes sales agent, it gives them more liberty and more options in terms of flexibility towards clients when it comes to renting than rigid brokers when they look after certain areas.
Okay, interesting. So apart from having some hospitality experience, you're saying that this is also another way of kind of having more flexibility to address client needs and get innovative with how you do that. We were also talking earlier, you mentioned that it's not just getting somebody to come and rent a property from Fam Living for a month, a week, or a couple of days. It's like a complete package. You guys facilitate a lot of other services. So what other services do you touch on?
So the beauty of holiday homes first, and the main, let's say, factors behind the client to choose holiday homes is the homing feeling. So when someone decides to go into holiday homes rather than a hotel apartment, is that the soul and the lively atmosphere that holiday homes have. This is one. Two, we realize that we are competing against the hoteliers and the hotels that they name the game of this business. So we expanded our offers in terms of amenities, in terms of services, namely housekeeping, transportation, babysitting, concierge service, aqua parks, you name it, just to make that stay basically as homey as possible, yet as handy and convenient to the guests.
Absolutely. Good. Interesting. We were discussing how busy you are. We had to request you to put your phone away. And interestingly, you were busy during the COVID lockdown time as well. You mentioned you guys had a 96% occupancy rate. That's pretty interesting. Tell me how. I know that a lot of us were not perceiving. We didn't know how to tackle that situation because it was very new and very unprecedented. Tell me, how did that happen, and what have you guys learned during that time? What have you implemented in your business structure?
Yeah, we learned a huge amount of new way to conduct our business, or to even, our relationship with our guests. So we surprisingly, but after understanding it was making sense that we were at this high occupancies. Like a lot of people, airports were closed, so a lot of people had to stay longer and to figure out when and how and etc. to go back to their countries. We had businessmen, like entrepreneurs who are working from home and they have kids, and who had the need to book an apartment. And the morning they will go to this apartment and come back in the same building. Yes, we had few of those. We had a lot of people who unfortunately lost their job, so they wanted to something without engagement, that they can to the time to figure out what they're gonna be doing. People who were about to look for a property in long-term rental, who preferred to go for holiday home and to be able to live whenever they want, because that's one of the beauty of holiday home is like you can decide, you are the person who decide for how long. There is less penalties or almost none if you decide to cancel a booking or if you decide to shorten your stay. So we also a lot of people who wanted to spend when they were able to make it back to the country, who wanted to do the confinement in Dubai. Due to like the way that UAE and especially Dubai handled this pandemic and all the situation is like have no equivalent in the world. Like Dubai at the moment is the safest and the only almost open country in the world at the moment. So that's what happened. We learned to be also, more we understand. We were very accommodating with the guests when they had some issues. We had people also need to get confined because of the COVID, and we also had a lot of new regulation on the weekly or even daily basis were coming through. So we had to adapt ourselves. So what the biggest things we learned at this time was to adapt very quick to the situation, because regulation one day is this, the next day no, it's like this, and the day after it was. So it was very stressful, but I think if we made it through this, we can make it through anything else.
Absolutely. I think we all learned a lot of valuable lessons on how to quickly pivot and kind of react quickly in order to kind of safeguard everybody's interest. How was your experience during that?
Well, I recall back on the 4th of April, we gathered everyone in the company and we looked at the situation, and we knew that this would not end, and we knew that new normal is about to emerge. We knew that the business, we knew it has ended. So we pivoted our strategy. We put some mechanism in place that we made our customer experience more easy. We had free cancellation policy. We had more flexible payment methods. So we created this packages for monthly stays and for 14-day stays, just to facilitate people who are just getting into Dubai or getting stuck into Dubai until they go through this transitional phase. We invented this model called Pay As You Stay, just to give people more flexibility. With a lot of uncertainty happening in the market back then and still to today, such mechanism gave so much confidence for people to leave their liabilities and their long-term rent commitment and join the ride of holiday homes. This is how the holiday homes became handy. So we learned how to pivot our business. We adapted our business model. We knew that this is the new normal, which we have to adapt. So we changed our offers, our experience with clients. We introduced new solutions for self-check-in, new paperless contracts, new experience from a customer concern. We introduced new payment methods which has zero human interaction. So all this came in handy. Plus, on the other side, we realized the importance of hygiene and safety to clients. So we invested heavily on those standards. We were, as Khadija was saying, there was a new regulation every single day, which we tried to adapt, which made it very challenging in terms of operational perspective. We adapted, but we knew back then, if we would manage to survive and come the other side of the tunnel, we would be stronger than ever.
Absolutely. And one more interesting thing that emerged, which Khadija highlighted, and I'm going to come to you about your observations. She said that, of course, and this we see in our trends of searches as well, holiday homes for the longest were mostly focused on the touristic areas. That's your Baum, your marina, your downtown, your business bay. You mentioned that there were new areas that emerged during this lockdown and then post-COVID. Would you like to touch on that?
Yes.
What were your observations?
So to explain how this is possible is like around 2012 and 2013, Airbnb made like completely changed the world of the holiday home. So that's one big important point. So when this website exploded, it make it easier for people to showcase their own home. Before you could not, in Booking.com, before this time, you could not put an apartment, so it have to be a hotel room. So fast forward now, the pandemic, etc. people and regulation in Dubai make you able to, FIBA as a homeowner, you can yourself rent your property if you want. So during the pandemic, during and after, not the pandemic, sorry, the confinement, we had a 200% surge on people relocating on a long-term rental from apartment to villa. And this is when the trend came out, and people will not mind to drive a little bit more, and we see Damac Hills coming up, it's little far from being a prime location. We see townhouses, which before wasn't really the type of unit you will take if there is no pool, but at least they have a garden and a space outside and a little bit bigger living room, etc. So you see also Dubai Hills and a certain Jumeirah townhouses and villas. So before that, it was only homeowner while going to France or UK or which country they are coming from to spend some holiday will put their place there. Now, after that, I had a lot of call from homeowner in Damac, for example, who have like a very nice and big places and look at the numbers and told me I want to try to do holiday home in this area, because people asking me from Saudi, from Kuwait, if I want to rent my property. So you will see much more now, and it's gonna keep growing.
Interesting. Shams, for you guys, you focus on City Walk area as fan properties. Do you have a lot of inventory there, or?
Well, we started the business actually. I was in City Walk simply because it was our low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
And then we branched out to downtown and other areas. Yes, our City Walk is our flagship area, but we have a huge inventory in downtown, in JBR, with our partners. We have the Baum. So, as Khadija was saying, the business used to be clustered around touristic attraction areas. I believe with the pandemic that we noticed a consumer behavior shift, where Dubai residents tried to limit their liabilities and shifted from their yearly commitments into the monthly, as well as people who are coming into Dubai. So now with the pandemic worked out for our favor somehow. I think wave 2 COVID in Europe kind of helped us to increase occupancy. We have higher demand from countries that are affected, mainly Europe. We have India, we have other countries. Today, I believe that the market is enjoying an overwhelming trend with demand on the short let. It's true that everyone wanted to get, during the lockdown, everyone wanted to upgrade into a confined place with all the amenities they get, limit the risks, no outside exposure. So that was a huge demand on the large units, especially the villas. And today, this trends continue, especially with those people who are coming into Dubai and want to have zero risk on outside contact. So all basically help to control this new trend in the business that we're trying to adapt with every single day.
So, yes, during the pandemic or the lockdown and post-lockdown, there were very different trends in searches as well. We saw that the villa demand picked up tremendously, where people wanted to move to bigger spaces with a garden, with a view. How has that evolved into holiday homes? You were sharing a very interesting experience.
Yes, so as you know, they went for a second round of lockdown in UK and in France and in Germany. Actually, Germany is starting I think from tomorrow. So what is the consequences? It's an increase in the flight in Dubai and people running out and coming to stay here for a month or two. And even we had people contacting us, for example, from France, telling us they are on not working at the office. They got the approval from their boss and the company, and to come do the lockdown here in Dubai. So we've been renting a lot of this property to this type of traveler guests. But the impact is a lot of them decided to make the move and to move to Dubai. So the consequences, there is an increase of the price for modern villas and area like District 1, Dubai Hills, even Damak, Palm. Now it's become very difficult to find a nice villa with a pool in a recent campaign. It's a nightmare almost for the tenants.
Are you experiencing the same?
Yes, to be honest, we had the same. We've noticed a large number of families pushed out of Europe, basically, and other countries who are having lockdown towards Dubai, having the safety in Dubai. And I think the remote working setup that the government had introduced recently, just helping everyone to work from a safe place, which happened to be Dubai. So this pushed the prices up. To be honest, it was remarkable to see how quick holiday homes recovered in terms of prices. I mean, during the COVID, we all know that the rates basically were rock bottom. And it kind of recovered much quicker than we expected it to. And that's all to do with the equation of supply and demand, basically.
How do you guys, and I'm going to ask you guys one by one, how do you see that now that we have recovered from the rock bottom prices, especially in holiday homes during lockdown and our April-May season here in Dubai? I mean, things are picking up, a lot of other international tourists are being pushed here, and then they are looking to work from here for a long period of time. We also have the expo coming in next year, and we're expecting around 25 million visitors. I mean, how do you see that contributing towards the longevity and the thrivingness of this business?
Well, I think in general, we expect 2020 to be a great year in terms of tourism and traveling for Dubai. Simply because we expect the traveling market around the globe would be, with the vaccine emerging, I think the traveling market would go in a rebellious mode, and then everyone wants to just get out of the shell and explore new countries. So Dubai would happen to be one of the safest, plus the expo would we expect to drive a huge amount of business to us. I mean, this year, before the pandemic, there was around 60,000 rooms in need for the expo, just to cater for the demand of the expo. So we expect the same to grow for next year. This would create a huge opportunity for holiday homes operators to tap into. So and this brought new trend to the market where there's a new demand on areas clustering around the expo. As a matter of fact, so as we used to see. Normally holiday homes start in touristic areas with Walk, Palm, JBR, and a later stage now with the market pivoting and changing and the events happening in the city. We see a huge demand coming around the expo areas, and people, as we noticed, come to Dubai to work remotely for 4-6 months. So this has created a new segment in our business where we cater for long stays, when our business was mainly around touristic short stays.
Any plans for you guys to kind of make use of this upcoming expo and the influx of visitors that?
To be honest, I'm waiting for expo since 2014, so it's like it's become. I try to keep focused on the latest trend. We know it's going to be happening. We know where it will be happening. We know what it already will bring, because we've been talking about that since the announcement. So we are looking forward, obviously, to it. We are prepared to don't miss it, meaning like to be at the right spots and to make benefit our landlord of the income of expo. But we have to think after expo, so we're actually looking much more forward, like longer than this specific event, because we keep here expo since so many years. We prepared, And I feel it's never coming.
It will soon. It will soon, and then of course, post Expo, there would be a lot of people who would choose to stay here, and it would be good for the economy and for the businesses. One interesting thing that I've noticed, holiday home business is very focused in Dubai. I mean, you guys as Driven and FAM, are you looking to get more inventory in Ras Al Khaimah, for instance, because that's a very hot holiday spot. Even the local with the staycation FAM just picking up during this time, and people preferring to stay in the UAE. I mean, are you guys looking to expand into other Emirates, like maybe Abu Dhabi or Ras Al Khaimah? What are your plans?
Well, Dubai being a leader in tourism, basically, it has happened to have all the regulations mapped out. And later we noticed that other Emirates followed. And then we have now we can see that Iraq have done the licensing, and Abu Dhabi to follow. And in terms of, we noticed beginning of early this year that the traveling market segment would go towards experiential traveling, much more than normal stays. Everyone would be looking, especially now with COVID, everyone would be looking at stays that would create more memories, would have certain safety and hygiene standards. So, which pushed us to look at other Emirates. That's before COVID. During COVID, we had some speed regulators on our expansion plan, but now we're looking at RAC, some very interesting projects that would bring complete new, let's say, disruptive options for the traveling market. Abu Dhabi would be next. Abu Dhabi has a huge potential on the front waterline, so we expect this would be the next move for us.
Good, interesting. You guys are also looking to expand to the Emirates?
Yes. We also have been approached by a lot of owner in Ras Al Khaimah. We did a few trips there. It's all when you are expanding to another emirate, you have to think of all the operation and everything. So we've been working on it since a few months now. We're still not 100% decided is the right move to do, but we're still working on it. We will have a big announcement for Abu Dhabi very soon.
Looking forward to that. Couple of last questions in that, and then we're going to bring one of our in-house experts, Sajjad, who has hospitality experience. He's been part of Bayut and under Bezel for over 4 years. And he deals with a lot of holiday home clients and hotels who are our partners here at Bayut and the Bezel. Before I move on to asking these questions from Sajjad, who's going to join us remotely, any advice you'd give to companies who don't have the holiday home division for their businesses yet?
I believe the big player now in the market have all understood clearly that they need a holiday home department in their company. It's a completely different business. I think the audience have to understand that it's an hospitality business. So it's cost a lot of effort and money to run this type of department. I think it's worth it. Like, you need to have this type of service to your investors, and I think that's an important one to have. So my advice is go for it, but be prepared.
My last question to you, Shams, is advice to investors from an ROI point of view. What are the advantages of investing in a holiday home concept versus buy-to-let property?
Well, holiday home segment in general has proved record of having a better yield over the traditional rental market, and that's basically due to the fact that you have the seasonality prices that where you benefit from the events happening in the city. You have the winter summer rates, so it just happened to be a higher rewarding to landlords. Two, it's from a landlord perspective, holiday homes happen to have flexible exit terms. So in case you want to have the exit plan for your property, holiday homes is your best option. And three, holiday homes happen to have investment protection plans over your property versus traditional rent. So if you rent your property, you'll be lucky to see it once every 2 to 3 years. When you rent it on the holiday homes, there's a team maintaining the property after every single checkout, which you as a landlord would have a peace of mind that your property is in immaculate condition at any point of time. So this protects your investment. So if today, it's a known fact that today is a buyer's market. So if you're a buyer, if you're looking to buy a property, consider to invest in property to convert into holiday homes, make sure you do the homework. Make sure to look into prime areas where you have certain amenities, tourist attractions, and eventually once you convert it to holiday homes, it would bring higher yield, and this would allow you to sell at a higher price versus your purchase. So it's a win-win.
I hope all the people who are looking out to invest, since it's a buyer's market, everybody is into research and looking at where to buy. You have your options. You can either rent it out, or better, make money. Give it to a holiday home company. You have Khadija and you have Shamsir. I'm going to bring Sajjad over now, who's going to share his experiences, feedback, coming from a hospitality industry now, managing a lot of clients who are in holiday home business and who are also in hotel and hotel apartment business. So Sajjad, how are you today?
Hi, Feba. I'm good. How are you?
Very well, very well. So, Jad, it's interesting. You have hospitality experience. You work with a hotel, you have your degree in hospitality, and now you are managing a lot of holiday home accounts and hotel and hotel apartments. Tell us about your experience in hospitality. How was it?
Yes, I'm having an experience in hospitality industry, which has given me an opportunity to learn and understand the revenue management of the hotel rooms, the service culture of the hotels. And right now, I'm able to link my experience to my clients and give them insights or educate them about how it works if you want to start any holiday home rental company, or if they have currently any holiday home rental company. So this experience I'm sharing with them in order for them to understand how they can make more revenue or how they can have a better services for their end users.
So, Jad, how has the holiday homes industry shaped up over the last 5 years, let's say?
What I observed myself, there is a remarkable increase for these holiday home operators. One of the major reasons I would say is people want to feel like home away home alike services, and these holiday home operators, they provide each and everything. So you have kitchen, you have room, you are by your own, nobody is there to have an eye on you. So that's one of the reasons I think families from different parts of the region, families from different parts of the world, they prefer to have a holiday home staycation wherein they can cook, they can stay, they will have their own place. So they want to have that type of feeling. So I would say I have seen some sort of increase in the inquiries and in the demand as well.
Sure, sure. Um, I remember when the lockdown was announced, there was a lot of uncertainty around holiday homes and hotels. There were some hotels that were shut down. And of course, we did our part as partners to our clients. We made sure that we give them the comfort and the flexibility. Interestingly, this market has really picked up after recovering from the lockdown, coming out of lockdown and recovering from the impacts of COVID on the economy. How have your conversations changed with holiday home partners and hotel apartment partners? How has that shaped up?
Yes, after pandemic, the conversations which we are having with the client right now is different. The market was based on international tourism. Now, what we have observed in past few months, that the market is based on the local inventory or local demand. So these holiday home operators have given me feedback that there are a lot of people working in Dubai or a lot of people working in other Emirates. They want to have flexibility in their stay, like whether they want to go for monthly contracts, they want to go for yearly contracts, or they want to go for weekly. So these operators, they give them flexibility in order for them to have that peace of mind.
True, true. How How is your experience of dealing with holiday home partners? I mean, as a portal, how do they like working with portals, and what advantages do they see when they advertise with portals against the conventional platforms that they have?
Yes, as a portal, we give them opportunity to advertise their property weekly, monthly, yearly, even biannually as well. Wherein the other conventional portals, they have just option of daily, like they can choose daily rent rates. However, here they have flexibility to provide the average rate for the month, to provide the average rate for the week, and without sharing any revenue with us. In the other portals, they do share the revenue. With us, they don't share any revenue. So there has been increase in revenue for these holiday home operators by Bayut and Dubizzle.
And what have you heard from your partners in terms of their future plans? How they're planning for Expo, and how are they planning for the next years to come? They're looking to expand in other Emirates, other areas. How are they going to go about this?
Yes, everybody is excited about Expo 2020. So do the holiday home operators. They're very high. They have very high hopes that the market will pick up, and market has started picking up. I have got recently feedback from one of the clients saying that nowadays people who are going to participate in Expo 2020, the companies, they have some of the managers coming over to UAE and they want to rent out certain apartments for 3-4 months. So this type of demand we will have in the market right now. So definitely there are high hopes and there are a lot of expectations from Expo 2020, and majority of the areas have already started picking up, be it Business Bay, be it Sports City, be it any other areas. And I would say there is a lot of interest from these holiday home operators to open their offices in Abu Dhabi and Ras Al Khaimah as well.
Well, thank you very much, Sujat, for taking the time out to join us and share your input and your feedback from your partners and what you've learned over the years dealing with holiday homes and short-term rental companies. Thank you. Have a good day. Right. Well, on that note, any parting thoughts, any experience you'd like to share with us today?
Well, to all landlords, whoever is considering to buy a property, holiday homes is your best bet. To guests or looking for safe places to spend their Christmas and New Year's Eve, holiday homes is your best option.
What I will say, we want just to keep welcoming amazing people, because we meet investors who are giving their property, and now like amazing guests with crazy stories. It's like a very, very, very interesting business that we are on, and we are available for you, email, WhatsApp calls, to respond to any of your questions and to run some numbers to tell you if your apartment or villa is the best decision for you to own a short-term rental.
Great. And for all of those who are watching this and you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions for us at social@Bayut.com, and we'd be very happy to assist you and put you in touch with our very trusted partners. Well, thank you all for joining us today for this very interesting and insightful chat for holiday home businesses and short-term rental companies. On this note, I'd like to thank all of our viewers who have joined us over different multiple sessions for the State of Real Estate and have made it a huge success by sharing your questions, comments, and joining us every time we publish a series to listen to us. We look forward to welcoming you in the new year, and we promise to bring you a lot of more exciting and engaging interactions with our team here at Bayut and Dubizzle. In the meanwhile, have a fabulous holiday and enjoy your holidays. Take care, be safe, see you in the new year. Bye.